Blackmagic have just done what they do best, and honestly, no one told me that for $4,995 I can get a 12K LF camera that shoots 12K, 8K, 6K full sensor readouts, and that is one of the best deal on the market right now. But hey, we have so many things to talk about. Number one, big up to Blackmagic for releasing so many things, and honestly, you can go and check the full video, but this one we're only going to be focusing on cameras. Number one, I remember when Blackmagic used to announce their cameras, and so many people was like, well, it's a good camera, but it does not have autofocus. Well, that ends now, because Blackmagic have just announced AI autofocus, and honestly, this is some serious stuff, because now you guys do not have any excuse as to why you do not like Blackmagic cameras, because they went above and beyond and brought you some of the things that you complain about, which is autofocus. And this is very big, and obviously I've actually seen another creator trying the autofocus and is working very good. I have a few more that would work for you, and what I did like is the face tracking and the face recognition, which is so good for those people that want that great camera, great image quality, and basically you put your camera on the gimbal and you go and handle all your business. By the way, I do have some notes because there are so many things that they announce, and now for those that used to comment on my video talking about autofocus, I wonder what is your limitation now to using Blackmagic cameras. Also, I like how they brought back the 6K, and they show you that you can update the firmware and you get autofocus on that camera, which is very good, which also show that they did not just put autofocus on newer camera and then forget the older generation cameras, which is fantastic. So let's now move on to the Micro Studio 4K G2. As you can see, the Micro Studio G1, it's a camera that's been very popular, and I like what they have done with this camera. Number one, you can now use the PYXIS monitor on that camera and you can get to control everything, which is very, very good. So for those people that shoot in very extreme kind of like situation, let's say you have rigging the camera to the place where you want the camera to be super small, and especially people that does cars, now you can use the Micro Studio 4K G2 and basically go and do what you do best. And I know that camera used to be very, very popular for those people that used to shoot car show like Top Gears and any other car show that's available or used to be available. Another thing that they spoke about and show us is the Ursa Cine 17K 65, and the price of that camera, it's honestly the best on the market, which is almost under the V Raptor, and obviously you're getting a super large format sensor. And I actually see this camera being used by so many industry professionals, because listen, what Blackmagic is doing, it is just something insane. And when I mean insane, you do have a 17K 65 millimeter that I feel like that's just like out of the ordinary, because Blackmagic is the only company that would come and say, hey, the camera that other people sell for over 40K, we are going to give it for under 20 something K, which is crazy in my opinion. Another thing that they obviously release, by the way, before we move into what they release, they also offer you an 8 terabyte storage with that as well, which is so good. And they just want you to get a camera and go there and shoot and basically do what you do best. I don't really know if there are so many other lenses that cover the 17K 65, but obviously I've not really seen much about that camera, but we honestly cannot wait to see what they are going to do. Another thing that they did release is the PYXIS handle. Listen, when I saw the PYXIS handle, I was like, where did this come from? But now thinking about it, I feel like they're thinking more about the Sony FX6, and now they've given you that camera that still have the handle. Also, that handle have a microphone for scratch audio. That handle, you have a record button and you can control your zoom, which is super good. And the most amazing things about that handle as well, you do have a viewfinder on the handle, which makes it unique. And honestly, I cannot wait to see people using this, which means if you do have the PYXIS and you shoot run and gun, wedding, or any other things, and maybe documentary, you can just have your PYXIS, especially it's now having autofocus. You'll be able to move very fast and handle your business like a pro. They also release a side handle, which is very good. And one thing that I really like about the side handle, it's not too bulky and it's not too expensive. It also reminded me of the older generation Sony FX700R and FX100. Comment below if you remember and if you know those cameras. Obviously now you will have a package that's almost like the Sony FX6, but the only difference is that it's going to be shooting 12K with all the amazing things that basically that sensor offer. Now moving on to another thing that they now release, we are talking about the PYXIS 12K. And let me tell you about the PYXIS 12K. Blackmagic is the only company that basically are not scared of protecting certain cameras that they use. And I'm actually going to give Sony as an example. Sony, they protect the A7S. The A7S #1 was recording 4K external, and I remember the A7S Mark II 4K internal, but it was 8 bits. A7S III 4K internal, but then you do 10 bits and they add a few other things. And then we have the FX3. I don't even know what other camera that they are going to release, but now Blackmagic is saying, hey, you can have the bigger 12K LF, and this is going to give you every frame rate option that is available. Or you can have the PYXIS 12K, which is very small, which is very portable, very nimble, and you can use this for those applications where you just want to rig the camera and be able to do your work very quick. You still have the same sensor, you still have the same image quality, and also the crop factor. That's actually something that I was almost worried about. And wait, don't give us a camera and take too much from the main camera, which is the 12K LF. And obviously it's very good to see that the PYXIS 12K can do so many other things. Obviously, I don't know much about the camera in terms of all the frame rates that it can do. This is something that I'm really looking forward to, but it's just good to see that for $4,995 you can get yourself a 12K shooting camera that gives you a sensor that's amazing, that people love. And also when it comes to shooting, you can do 12K, 8K, up to 4K with the full sensor readouts, which also mean when you shoot in 4K, you are actually going to get cleaner pixel because it basically downsample the whole thing into 4K. I was actually worried about the CFast Express Type B, and I thought this is not going to handle everything that this camera offers, but I feel like there's a limitation to frame rate and so many other things that this camera can do. And obviously, after seeing this announcement, I am so glad I did cancel my PYXIS 6K when it was announced. So basically, I did pre-order the PYXIS just like everyone, and I had a project in mind, and when that camera delayed, I could not use it on the project that I intended to use the camera, so I did cancel it. And I was like, you know what, now I'm actually going to wait and see what is available. And oh man, I am glad I waited, because now I do have so many options. And let's say I still like everything that the 12K LF big version offer, I can go and get that. And I can still go and also get the PYXIS, depending on which one it's work for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look around and compare the two cameras in terms of what works for me, as what my project call for or what my project prioritize, and then I am going to get that. Obviously guys, that is all for today. I just wanted to react to our good friend Blackmagic dropping so many other things. There is Resolve 20, which is insane, and I'm going to download it now and play with it. So comment below and tell me what you like about this release. Are you excited? Is there anything that you wanted this release to have that you got? But for me, in my opinion, this is the most affordable 12K large format sensor camera on the market. And obviously Blackmagic, they're just unbeatable when it comes to everything.